Today, we're going to be talking about what to do when you don't know what to do in your life, as a career, etc. Oh, hey, look, I just stumbled upon a TP kind of thing. Now, most of these videos are going to be based on conversations I have in my daily life. And this is something I've spoken about with people many times. But I spoke about it with someone recently, and I thought it warranted a video because partially the state of the world, and it's not really supportive of people knowing what they want to do and being passionate about things, etc. So, this can apply to you whether you're in high school, you're in college, university, working, not working. The situation doesn't really matter so much, but basically it's you're unfulfilled, there's no passion, maybe you don't have drive, vision, you're not sure what you want to do, feel like you're not really going anywhere, you're kind of stagnant, etc. If that's not you, well then I still encourage you to watch. Maybe there'll be something that you pick up on, or at the very least, you'll learn things that you can use to help other people. So one concept that I talk about all the time, regardless the topic, is that nothing ever stays the same. Nothing is ever stagnant. Everything is always changing. So that means you are always getting better at anything that you do or do not do. Meaning anything you do, you will get better at doing that thing. And anything you don't do, you will get better at not doing that. So if you are in a state of not knowing, of uncertainty, those things that I just kind of mentioned, you will not stay in that same state. Meaning, you will either move closer towards a state of knowing and being fulfilled and having peace and all these things, or you will be continuing to move away from it into more unknowingness, more uncertainty, confusion, potentially loneliness, etc. So sometimes not knowing what you want to do isn't actually something to worry about. In other cases, it definitely is. But either way, not taking action on it is a problem. Because again, if you don't, you'll only be led further away from it. That doesn't mean you'll never find it, but it's definitely not the best approach. More important than what do I want to do, what do I want to achieve, etc., is who am I, what do I believe in, what do I value, and what does that belief call me to do? So, as an Orthodox Christian, basically, you need to know, well, who is God? Why do you believe in God? What do you believe about God? And what does that mean about you? And who does that say you are? And what does that belief call you to do? And you need to look at your life as well and see where are you aligned with that and where are you not aligned with that. And it's a lifelong journey. There will be things that you don't know and that you're not sure about and that you'll discover and improve with time. But anything that you see that you are not in alignment with is something you need to work on and something you need to change. So do that, basically. But make a list. You can make a list, do comparisons, etc. Now, the other thing is your purpose is given to you. So if you know all that, fantastic. If you don't, then figure it out. But then once you know all that, then on the question of what does the faith call you to do, it calls you to do many things, but it also gives you a purpose in life. And that purpose is the same for everybody. And there's different ways to work towards that and to achieve it, but the purpose is the same. It can be said in multiple ways, be thought about in different ways, but it's basically to become like Christ, to become a saint, and to acquire the Holy Spirit. Again, you can take a different view approach with each of those, but they're all generally along the same lines. So that is your goal. When you orient yourself towards that goal, it affects everything else in your life. The things you do, what you engage in, the people you speak with, the communities you are a part of, what you do as a career, how you interact with your family, the things you think about, what you enjoy, etc. So this is the most important thing. And after that, nothing really matters. I mean, we're going to be talking about everything after that, but nothing really matters after that. But that is what you want to figure out first. The next thing is that you don't want to be too hard on yourself about time. Meaning it's very easy, especially today with social media, to compare yourself with others and be upset that you are not where they are, or that they have achieved things at the same age or younger than you that you're nowhere near, whether that be in terms of status, finances, family, whatever it is. Now, like I said at the beginning, nothing stays the same, so you don't want to waste any time. And time is interesting because you don't want to waste, you want to make use of every moment, and any moment that passes, you won't get back. But at the same time, everybody's on their own journey, and time isn't even real. And again, that's another whole topic on its own. But everybody goes at their own pace, and you're being made into the person that you need to be to achieve the things that you're going to achieve and do the things that you're going to do. So literally just don't worry about anyone else, and your only competition is yourself. And that's another whole topic as well. But anyways. So we've established that the spiritual side of things is the most important, and that is where your life needs to be centered, and everything else is supportive of that and builds off of that. Okay, also who you are in a spiritual sense is another whole topic. I will remember that. We'll talk about that another time probably. But in achieving this goal that we mentioned, the purpose of life, of becoming like Christ, acquiring the Holy Spirit, becoming a saint, and again, I'm being very, very, very general here, we are generally called to follow one of two paths. And that is, one, the monastic life, or two, marriage, married life. And many of you probably already know if you are called to one or the other. If you are not sure, and also just to verify, and I'm not the first person to say this, saints have said this as well, definitely visit a monastery for more than a day. Go stay over there, immerse yourself in their life. You can stay for a few days, a week, it depends on kind of where you're going. But this will not only be a spiritually fulfilling trip experience, but it will give you clarity on the path that you are meant to follow. And maybe you're not 100% sure after that, and that's okay, but it should at least give you some guidance, give you some thoughts and direction on that. So that would be the next suggestion. Now, the world is not very supportive of helping you know what you are supposed to do and who you are and what you are meant to be, etc. So this is where you find a lot of people not really having meaning, any joy, peace in their life, and there's either really nothing kind of worthwhile that they're doing, or they're doing things that are worthwhile in terms of the world, but they're still unfulfilled, or they attach themselves to some sort of movement, and that movement becomes their identity. And of course, this can lead you astray in multiple ways, of course. So by doing everything that I've said so far, you are avoiding that. But then there is the other thing where the world is not supportive of you being an adult, meaning there is no clear distinction of you are a teenager and now you are adult. Traditionally, this did happen, and there are some cultures that still have different celebrations like that today, but many times it does tend to just be culture, celebration, and not a shift in responsibility and mindset and what you do. And a really easy example of how the world doesn't support this is school. You go to preschool, elementary school, middle school or high school, college, university. You're in school from anywhere from 2 to 4 years old, all the way until you're anywhere from like 18 to 30. And life doesn't really change too much throughout that time for a lot of people in terms of what they do. So you need to take it upon yourself to create this shift. As a guy, this is very simple because it can be, having something that marks this shift is very simple because you can just do something physical, some sort of competition, physical challenge. If you don't know how to fight, going, okay, now you're going to go learn to fight, something physical that marks the occasion. Women, you can totally do this as well. It doesn't have to be like, doing a fight and getting punched in the face. But I'm saying, it can be maybe you climb a mountain or something, go on some hike that's really cool, kayak across a lake or whatever. But the point is, it needs to be a challenge. You can do that, but it can also be a shift in mindset, taking on new responsibility in the community. It can be any number of things. So you need to do this, but you need to do this with the intention of this is marking the change in who you are. It is making you an adult. And this does not mean you need to know everything and you need to have everything figured out. But it means the shift in the mindset, the taking on of responsibility, taking ownership of your own life, and that you are taking initiative on where your life is heading. It also means getting rid of any victim mentality that you may have. So there's that. You need to become an adult. And again, like I said, I've mentioned like 5 things so far probably that I can make a full long video about, but we're kind of speeding through here. So that's the next thing. As an adult, you need to take on the initiative of becoming the best version of yourself, being the best that you can be, and doing the best for your family and the communities that you are a part of. And that is something that can be hard with today's world because we place so much focus on the self. In the past, many people, what they did because they were called to do it. They needed to do it. There was a gap to be filled, and they filled it. You can also say this similarly with, the best people in leadership positions are often the ones that don't want it or are not pursuing it. But they are the ones best suited for it, and they are able to serve the community the best. So when I say be the best that you can be, that is something that, maybe, depending on the type of media you consume and communities you're in, maybe is a message that you receive. But often, again, it's in a selfish way. It's for the sake of yourself, so you can have whatever. Not so you can serve. Not so you can be the best for someone else, for something else, for another group, to help people, etc. It's often centered on the self. And so you want to think from the perspective of, what value do I have that I can impart on others, that I can give, and that I can improve the lives of others? And again, maybe you don't fully know right now, and that's okay. But that should be something that is in your mind and something that you reflect on as you progress through this. So what does it mean then become the best that you can be? Well, again, that's another huge topic. But we mentioned at first having the spiritual center of your life. So, is that the main thing in your life? And if it's not, make it. And you need to progress in that arena. You need to pray. You need to do all these things and be a part of the community and find someone who can guide you on this path. And, be involved in the church, etc. Find a spiritual father. Again, it's a whole other topic. But then other areas of your life too, you shouldn't be doing anything passively, meaning health. Do you know what you are doing and how it affects your health? Do you just eat mindlessly? Do you not know what you're eating, why you're eating it, or what it's doing to you? Physical, fitness. Again, not saying you need to look like a bodybuilder or anything, but are you active? Do you feel in control of your body? Are you strong, mobile, flexible? Or do you live pain-free? Do you feel like you can jump into any physical activity, sport, and enjoy it and be able to be a part of it in a way that is fun and that you feel you can do, and like you're in control of your body and you can adapt to that situation? If not, then these are things that you want to pursue. And again, doesn't mean you need to be a professional athlete. It doesn't mean you need to have health knowledge that's practitioner level, where you're creating protocols for people with different conditions and things like that. But it does mean you know what you're doing and why you're doing it. So again, going back to the beginning of the video. Then you need to think about different skills. So, for example, sales. Now, this doesn't mean you need to learn how to be a car salesman. Doesn't mean you need to learn how to be an expert salesperson of any kind. But do you know how to express what you want? Do you know how to frame it in a way that benefits both parties? Do you know how to negotiate? Because everything is sales and negotiations. And again, there is a way to do it that is selfish, and there is a way to do it that benefits everybody, and that, or may not benefit everybody, but I'm saying that is moral and that is representative of your values. Can you write? How many times have you written something and it not been interpreted the way you wanted? Can you express your ideas in written form? This is a very important skill to have. Presentation skills, just communication in general. Then you also have creative skills. So are you doing anything that is creative? Again, not that you need to be a professional musician or your artwork needs to be in a gallery or anything like this. But are you involved in some sort of creative medium? And this is just for expression, for fun, to give yourself a break, challenge yourself in different ways. Play an instrument, make artwork, write poems, carve wood, whatever it is. Be involved in something creative and develop that skill. Design, very basic design skills, or just computer skills in general. Do you have good computer skills? Not you don't have to be a coder, but can you are you comfortable using devices of different sorts? And I was mentioning design. Again, not that you need to be a professional designer of any kind, but let's say you want to host an event, promote a product, whatever it is. Can you make a nice looking graphic for that thing? Just that simple. Not that you need to do anything, really crazy, but you're hosting a party. There's your church is having an event, whatever it is. Can you make a graphic for that that looks nice, that is appealing? Same thing. Can you communicate in a way that elicits an emotional response? Can you get people excited about things? So these are all things that you need to work on. Do you spend time outdoors? I would say what I'm doing right now is counts and doesn't count. Meaning, yes, I'm outside, but I'm paying attention more to speaking. I'm not really enjoying this. I am enjoying it, but I'm not focused on everything that's around me to the full extent. Are you doing something that keeps you in the present moment? And this can be with prayer, this can be with going to church, but on top of that, exposing yourself to some sort of danger. Again, doesn't have to be crazy. You don't have to be going out where all the bears are, or take boxing lessons, whatever. Totally, the boxing is a great example. You can't really be thinking and stressing about things when you're trying to not get punched in the face. But similar to that, like I mentioned kayaking already, there is some element of danger. You can be completely safe, and it's a very safe activity, but there is some element of danger. You're in the water. Same thing with the hiking. You're doing something. Can you cook, whatever, all these things. Anyways, again, I feel like I'm kind of getting off track here a little bit. That's obviously still relates, but this is a whole other topic. Point being, you need to build up your skills and become a well-rounded person. And then don't let your schooling be your education. Meaning, constantly be learning on your own. Research things, look into topics. And they can be things that you're interested in. And it can be things you're not really that interested in, but just learn. Point being, learn, and learn new things. And look into things from different perspectives. I see this all the time. So many people who want to be doctors, surgeons, nurses, etc., which those are all very, many people have noble reasons for wanting to go into those professions. But other people, it's just that they want to help people. And, maybe whatever the situation, but they want to help people. And that's what comes to mind. Okay, well, the microphone fell off the beard. Hopefully that still sounds okay. I can't really check it right now, with this being one take and all. So anyways, I was saying that yes, these people, many of them have noble intentions. Some people just want it, for the status or whatever. But there are lots of people that go into these professions because they want to help people, and that is what comes to mind when they think of how. And I speak to these people all the time. There are so many more things out there that you can do. And oftentimes these things are more appealing to people, whether it's with nutrition or herbalism or whatever. Anyways, lots of different things. But the point being, you always want to look at things from different perspectives. And then have hobbies, have things you're passionate about. What did you enjoy doing as a child? Often, kids know what they want to be when they are very young. And then the world confuses that. It could be parents, it could be friends, it could be teachers, it could be just the world in general, whatever, media, whatever. Confuses that. But most people know what they want to be when they are a child. Now, in my case, maybe my parents would correct me, but as far as I remember, there was no one thing I wanted to be. I wanted to be everything. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to do. So the point being, you normally know, and then you get lost from that. So try to think back and reflect on that. Now, in terms of money, oh wow, I'm running out of time here. In terms of money, you can have the goal of making money, but that goal on its own, again, is selfish. And it's egotistic and rooted in the world. So you don't want your sole goal to be making money. That doesn't mean you can't try to make as much money as possible, but that can't be the goal in and of itself. There has to be something else. So think about your future. You may not know what you're passionate about, what you want to pursue, but I'm sure there's got to be something in your life that you know you want in terms of lifestyle or, for your family. Even just as simple as, I want to be able to provide for my family, your future family or current family. That's enough to get started, to get going, and to do really well. You can apply yourself with that. So again, I guess for time, I'm going to wrap up this video here. It's also longer than I intended, but also didn't get to everything that I intended. So there's a lot more things we can talk about. Let's say you've done everything in this video, then what's your next approach? What do you do? What kind of job do you get? What kind of, again, with income, what should you pursue? Or maybe you've done all these things and there is something that you're passionate about and that you enjoy doing, but you don't know how to monetize it. These are all things actually that I talk about with people all the time. So you know what actually I might do is I will, either in the description below or in the comments, I'll leave something where you can get in touch with me and we can chat. So I will do that. But going back just for a second to the skills, you want to have also developed skills that can be monetized. And knowing how to monetize them is another topic. But there you go. Everything I mentioned, you can monetize in some way because it applies to everything. All right, we're going to wrap it up. Again, time, not real, but it's calling me. People are waiting for me. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.